just a simple run through of fractal stuff. It can seem a little daunting. It's all pretty simple. So first, you got this menu right here. This menu is going to have the levels of fractals, how much agony resistance, which we'll get into at some point, and then what is daily's recommended, all that stuff. So you have recommended here, daily, daily, recommended, daily, and that goes through each tier. It'll be the same ones. So this here is where you actually pick the fractal you want to go into. So once you select whichever one you want and you hit OK in this menu, it's going to make that the accessible fractal through the middle portal. And that changes it for the whole group.
This is a
These
find.
chests right here are what you're looking for from doing your dailies and stuff. They're going to give you those boxes, which open with those encryption keys. That's where the pure gold loot comes from doing Fractal. You're not going to end up with enough keys, so you'll have to come to this guy. Most of the time you won't. You'll buy these keys. It's going to seem like you might lose money. That's not going to happen. You'll profit off of it each time. These are tier 1, so the profit that I'm about to get isn't that high. It gets way higher the higher fractals you're doing. So you can see now I'm going to open these boxes here. You're going to have some supplies, like materials, which you can click the deposit materials. And out of those boxes, these items are just sold as junk. So you can see how much I have right there. We're going to go in here. We're going to actually go down and select the junk so that I don't end up selling other junk I already had. We'll actually track this the correct way. And as you can see, I made money off of it. So there's not going to be a ton on these ones, but you will make money. So this guy here, he sells these different potions. There's different levels of them. They do different things for when you're in the fractals. They're very helpful. You can actually sell them if you get free ones. You can sell them for these bags. I would only do that at early fractals. I'd save the large ones for later fractals and do it that way. And those bags right down here, once you open that, it's just going to give you fractal relics. You can track that down at the bottom. Fractal relics, pristine fractal relics. This guy over here, Laurel's vendor is going to have a bunch of ascended gear, which you need for putting the agony resist in, which you won't need for early ones, but when you start getting into the later ones, you're definitely going to need it. You can see he has quite a few different ones. It's mostly going to be your, like, I think rings and accessories, stuff like that. And over here, you got some more, but these are bought with fractal stuff. Like stuff you get for rewards from doing fractals. This guy is a pretty important one. You run into him a lot. This is your agony resistance stuff. So you put those, you infuse those onto your ascended gear, and you can upgrade them by using different level ones to do that. Usually I just use the tier 1s I get from playing through right here, and I buy those 9s right there, do that. And then that gets infused onto your gear, and that's where the agony comes in. All this stuff's ascended with the pink name. A lot of this you can just get from the Wizard's Vault if you look for the ascended armor and ascended weapons chests. Get those. And then you'll add those agony things to it. And again, you don't need this to start doing fractals. This is for when you're doing higher level ones, you'll need more and more. For each tier you go up, you'll need more agony. And I think the highest is 150. And then if you get to 150, you won't have to worry about agony through any of them. Agony is just a damage mechanic through fractals to kind of give you a progression system to get through. So, all in all, fractals, not overly complicated. People just get a little weird going into them because it is endgame content. People are usually nice in it. You should give it a try.